Hi, I'm Scott, and the purpose of this channel is to help you and myself become a Renaissance person. And one of the ways to do that is to work on my Renaissance aesthetic. Renaissance aesthetic are styles that would be in keeping with the traditions of the Renaissance and the Enlightenment, without necessarily having all the velvety, frilly things on. And it includes things like art, fashion, decor, architecture, to name a few. And one of my other goals was to lose weight as part of my goal of being a happier, healthier, mentally, physically stronger person. I've lost about 60 pounds so far. I would like to go and lose another 30, and when I do, we're going to go shopping. But I want to not only buy a wardrobe of clothes, and I'm not really going to buy that many pieces, probably just 4 or 5, at least start, but I want to buy things that I could do that would be reasonably affordable, but at the same time offer me the benefit of things that I can mix and match with what I already have. So today we're going to talk about style and the aesthetic of a Renaissance person in the 21st century. If you were to look up Renaissance aesthetic or Renaissance style on Google, you're probably not going to find many things, and if you do, it's probably related to architecture. The architecture of what they would call Renaissance architecture goes back to ancient Greece and ancient Rome, hence the term Greco-Roman. I'm not saying that, and insofar as architecture, form and function were very important. This in comparison to modernist architecture, which looks bland, doesn't have much on its edifice. The insides are probably just as bland as the outside. It's made usually of cheaper materials and buildings that don't last as long as they did hundreds of years ago. This brutalist architecture is rampant in most places in America and in other countries. And it's most often just bleak and devoid of any human scale or accoutrement that would be of interest to people. With one major exception that I can think of offhand, and that's the Sydney Opera House, which is delightful and certainly a reason to visit Australia, if for no other reason. So how does one create a Renaissance aesthetic while still keeping things like form and function, in regards to fashion at least? So one of the things I'm going to do is look for the old money look, clothes that are durable, that are good looking and smart, and possibly even tailor a few signature pieces so that it shows my body in a better light. Nothing worse than clothes that don't fit well. And I think it's important for us all to look our best. So in keeping with that vein, another goal of mine is to lean in to history, have a flourish of historical significance in the way I look as well as the way I act. So for example, and I'll do a close-up of this, the necklace that I wear is my family coat of arms. My last name is Layton. And I thought it was something that was stylish. It's silver, so it wasn't too expensive in comparison to some other precious metals. And it's a conversation piece. Now, in leaning into that history, I also have on my wall a larger version of my family cross. So the items, I don't want to say match, but thematically go well together. And if you noticed, I also have the Vitruvian Man there too, reminding me of my goal of becoming and being a Renaissance person. But there are also some other things that I did that, again, lean into or tie into some of the decor and fashion I wear. And one of the things I did was I went and bought myself a Michael Kors Layton watch. Again, same last name. There's a theme going on here. And if you can do something similar to that, I highly recommend it. None of those items were very expensive, but I also did buy some cologne. And what cologne should a person wear with the last name of Layton? Parfums de Marly Layton. This company produces a superb cologne, and while it is on the pricey side, it's definitely worth it. And because of my allergies and asthma, I don't really go and use cologne too often anyway, so this will last me for years. But this particular scent harkens back to what one may have smelt someone wear in Versailles under the reign of the Sun King. And that's really cool. I mean, how many colognes can you say that about? Parfums de Marly really know what they're doing. I highly recommend it. So, form and function, historical or timeless looks. Again, I don't want to dress up, wearing a powdered wig or, wearing a Renaissance robe. I mean, other than Halloween, it's not going to fit anywhere here in America. But there are things that we can do, such as the old money look. It's very popular nowadays. A lot of the clothes look, pretty much identical to what people wore back in the 1930s and 40s. As far as the timeliness of fashion, this stuff just never goes out of style. So if you're going to have a look that stays in style, that is going to complement you and your look and what you're trying to achieve in life. And something that you can conceivably wear that'll last for 10, 20 years, and hopefully more for jewelry. But it's also important to remember other themes, such as color schemes. And if you are willing, why don't you watch my next video on that topic.